Dear beautiful soul, if you've been guided here today, it's no accident. The angels have led you to this moment. This is a sacred space where divine whispers become clear, where love, miracles, and destiny unfold. If this message touches your heart, don't let it pass by. Subscribe now and join our growing family of lightworkers, dreamers, and believers. Your presence here is a sign. You are ready to receive heaven's guidance. Let the angels speak to you. Hit like if you feel their love, and comment below with, "I receive this blessing," because your words create magic, and together we rise. And if this message has lifted your spirit, consider supporting this channel with a super thanks. Your kindness helps spread more divine light into the world. Now relax, open your heart, and let the angels deliver their message just for you. You may not know this yet, but someone younger than you has been watching you with reverence for a very long time. Not with the eyes of judgment, not with shallow interest, but with awe, with sacred admiration. They don't see your age as a gap. They see it as a doorway, a portal of experience, a wisdom they cherish and respect. Their soul is ancient, yes, but their time on earth has only just begun to unfold. And yet, somehow, they see into the parts of you others have missed. The way you move through pain with grace. The way you speak truth without hurting others. The way your silence teaches more than some people's words ever could. This younger person knows. Not because you told them. Not because you shared every chapter of your story, but because they've been watching. Not in a way that invades. Not in a way that intrudes, but in a way that honors. Like someone approaching a sacred temple with slow steps and bare feet and open palms. Their heart has been beating with thoughts of you, thoughts you've never heard, but heaven has, because every soul whispers when it's in love, and every whisper becomes a prayer when it's real. You thought maybe they were just being kind or polite or friendly, but the angels want you to know. They've loved you from afar, secretly, faithfully, quietly. You have no idea how many times they've talked about you to God, late at night, when the world is still and only the soul is awake. They've whispered your name into their pillow, into the stars, into the silence between them and the divine. You have no idea how often they've asked the heavens, "Am I too young? Am I enough for someone like them?" And heaven's answer has always been this: be patient. Their heart is being prepared for you. You've been through storms. You've carried burdens others didn't see. You've smiled through sorrow. You've danced while breaking inside. But this one, this soul, they saw. They noticed how your eyes dimmed when you smiled, how you laughed but your spirit didn't. They saw your strength. Not as something intimidating, but as something beautiful, like a tree that's withstood every season yet still blooms. And they said to themselves, "That's the one I'd protect." Not because they need it, but because I'd feel honored. Too, this isn't just a crush. This is deeper. This is soul recognition, timeless memory, divine arrangement. There is a reason they came into your life the way they did, softly, out of nowhere, as if heaven dropped them near you without warning. Because sometimes God does that. He brings people not by schedule, but by sacred appointment. And right now, this younger soul is closer than ever to stepping forward. But the angels had to speak first. Because your heart has been tired, maybe jaded, maybe guarded, maybe wrapped in layers of survival you didn't even know you had built. Maybe you've said to yourself, "I'm done with love. I'm done hoping." And heaven heard that. But so did your soulmate, and it broke their heart. because they've been holding space for you, growing, healing, waiting, not from a place of desperation, but from deep reverence. They haven't been perfect. No one is. But they've been sincere, and that's what makes this real. They're not trying to impress you. They're trying to understand you. They're not chasing attention. They're praying for alignment. They see your soul as sacred ground, and they've never tried to step on it, only walk beside it, quietly, with reverence, with readiness. The Bible says in 1 Corinthians 13:7, love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. And that is exactly what this younger soul has done. In secret, they've loved you without telling you. They've believed in you without knowing your full story. They've hoped for you without knowing if you'd ever feel the same. They've endured time, space, silence, all for a chance to stand beside you. And now, heaven is stirring the winds, because it's time for you to know the truth. You were never too much. You were never too late. You were never out of reach. You were simply being prepared. And so were they. You may not see it yet, but this person's soul has traced your footsteps. They've studied your ways not out of obsession, but out of honor. They remember how you gave without asking for anything back, how you stayed when others ran, how you prayed when no one else believed. They've listened when you didn't know you were speaking. They've learned how love should look because of how you've lived. They don't want to fix you. They want to walk with you. They don't want to change you. They want to grow with you. They're not looking for someone to save them. They're becoming someone who can stand beside you. Their love isn't loud, but it's steady. It's true. It's been maturing in the quiet places, and now the heavens are ready. They've cleared the path. They've softened your heart. They've ripened the moment. So if you've been feeling a nudge in your spirit, a name in your dreams, a face in your thoughts, you're not imagining it, you're remembering it. Because before you met in the physical, you met in the spirit. They were drawn to your light before they knew your name. They recognized your soul before they heard your voice, and soon they'll step forward, not with force, not with fanfare, but with peace, with presence, with prayer, with purpose. And when they do, you'll understand why they had to wait, why you had to grow, why love had to be delayed but not denied, because what's coming is not just affection, it's alignment, it's partnership, it's destiny. Type, I receive this love in divine timing if your soul is ready. Because your story was never ordinary. It's been watched by angels, protected by divine timing, whispered about in heavenly places. There have been delays, yes, but not because you were forgotten, only because you were becoming, and so were they. You had to unlearn what love was never meant to be. You had to break away from half-hearted connections, from surface-level affection, from people who only saw the outer version of you and never reached for the depth. And they, this younger soul, they had to rise, to mature in silence, to walk the long road of character, discipline, healing, and surrender. Because you don't just need someone to love you. You need someone who can hold love, without crushing it, without running from it, without making it about ego or status or timing or fear. You need someone who can handle your depth without drowning in it, and now they can. Not perfectly, but powerfully. Not because they've mastered life, but because they've surrendered. to growth. They've sat with their own shadows. They've wrestled with questions they'll never fully answer. They've cried in secret for clarity, for courage, for direction, and always for you. Their prayers weren't grand. They didn't ask for beauty or brilliance or fame. They asked for connection, for truth, for the one their soul recognized even before their mind did. And God kept showing them your light, even when they didn't understand it, even when they felt unworthy of it. They kept seeing your face in the quiet, feeling your presence when they stood under the stars, and it made them stronger. Not obsessed, but aligned, because true love doesn't come to take. It comes to give, to witness, to bless, to walk with, and that's exactly what they've been preparing to do. Your soul has always needed something rare, something soft, yet bold, someone who wouldn't fear your wisdom but be drawn to it, someone who wouldn't idolize you but see you clearly. Flaws and all, wounds and all, and stay present, stay humble, stay faithful. You've poured into so many, you've carried others. You've been the strong one, the wise one, the healer, the anchor. But now, heaven is sending you someone who sees all that and says, "Let me carry you for once." Not to fix you, but to stand with you, to hold your hand when you forget your own light, to speak life when your heart is tired, to remind you that even strength needs softness, even leaders need safe places, even warriors need rest. And their heart, this younger soul, is that place, because though they are young, their spirit is seasoned. They have learned that love is not about the noise, it's about the knowing, and they know you. Even now, they know you overthink sometimes. They know you doubt your worth. They know you question why love has felt so hard, so distant, so confusing, and they want you to know they're not here to play with your heart. They're not here to repeat the cycle. They're not here to make you prove why you're lovable. They're here to choose you, to stay, to speak, to protect, to partner, to show you what it feels like to be seen, truly, finally, without conditions, because they're not in love with your perfection. They're in love with your process. They love how you rise, how you get quiet before you speak, how you look people in the eye even when they've looked away, how you still believe in goodness even after betrayal. They love your faith, the kind that's been tested but never broken. They've heard your name in dreams. They've seen your shadow in moments when no one else was around, and their soul keeps whispering, "That's the one. That's the one." And heaven keeps confirming, because when love is real, when it's divinely assigned, it doesn't need to be rushed. It flows. It grows in the dark before it blooms in the light. It builds quietly before it reveals itself fully. It prays before it pursues. And this younger person, they've prayed, they've waited, they've watched, and now they're ready. The final pieces are coming together. The final veil is lifting, and soon you will feel it, not just as a thought, not just as an idea, but as a presence. They will show up, not to impress you, but to walk with you, to listen deeply, to see clearly, to love completely, just like the angels promised, because heaven didn't forget, and neither did they. They carried you in their prayers, and heaven answered with time, with preparation, with truth, so when they come, you will know. There will be peace before words. There will be knowing before logic. There will be stillness before action, and you'll remember, you were never waiting for just anyone. You were being held for this one. Type, I am ready for my divine alignment if your soul is beginning to remember. There is more, and it's coming. You've grown strong by necessity. You didn't ask to become this resilient, but life demanded it. And you rose to meet the demand, even when your heart broke silently. Even when your prayers felt like they bounced off the ceiling. You kept walking. You kept loving others. You kept giving light, even when you barely had enough for yourself. And someone younger saw all of it. Not just what you posted, not just what you allowed others to see, but the unspoken parts, the quiet griefs, the silent triumphs. They watched with reverence. Because what you saw as normal behavior, they saw as divine character. You changed the way they viewed love. You taught them, without knowing, that real love isn't loud or flashy. It's patient, it's brave, it's consistent when no one's watching. They didn't fall for the version of you that tries to impress. They fell for the version of you that thinks no one notices. And that's why it's real. Because they didn't choose the you perform. They chose the you live. Let that settle, because some part of you still wonders, why would they want me? And heaven answers with this, because you reflect the very heart of God. You see, 1 Samuel 16:7 says, the Lord doesn't look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. And so does your soulmate. They see your heart, your soul, your faith, your fight. And that's what draws them near. Not your style, not your age, not your resume, but the essence of you. The way you speak softly when someone's hurting. The way you listen when no one else does. The way you hold your own pain without making others carry it. That is what they've been in love with, silently, faithfully, deeply, and they've kept it hidden because they didn't want to disrupt your peace. But oh, how they've longed to tell you. How many times they've typed messages and deleted them. How many times they've prayed, God, please, if this is your will, let it be clear. And now the angels are here, whispering the answer, yes, this is divine, this is holy, this is real. You were never too old. You were never too late. You were always the one. And now that you know this, heaven asks you to respond with trust. Not blind trust in people, but sacred trust in timing, because the time is coming. And when it does, it won't be a dramatic confession. It will be a soft unfolding. A gaze that lingers longer than usual. A comment that sounds almost too intentional. A presence that feels familiar even when words don't explain it. Your spirit will know, and you'll remember this message, because the angels are preparing the moment even now. They're orchestrating divine alignment, pulling two threads of destiny into one sacred knot. You and them and you. No rush, no performance, just presence and purpose. This love will not try to save you. It will walk beside the God who already did. It will not try to complete you. It will honor that God already made you whole. It will not rush you. It will wait. It will breathe. It will grow. And the younger one, they may not have lived through as much pain, but they've studied your strength like scripture, and they carry a wisdom far beyond their years. They've been through their own battles. They've cried their own quiet tears. They've known betrayal. They've known heartbreak. But through it all, they've kept a space in their heart that only you could fill. not a fantasy, a truth, a sacred recognition. They know your value because they've witnessed your virtue and they've already decided, I'll choose them. If God allows it, I'll choose them every day. So now the question isn't, do they love you? It's, will you allow it? Will you allow yourself to be seen like that? Cherished like that? Respected like that? Not for what you do, but for who you are. This kind of love, it takes courage. It takes unlearning what the world taught you, that you have to shrink to be loved, that you have to be younger, quieter, smaller, less. But no, you don't. You were made in the image of God. You carry light in your bones, and your soulmate sees that light. So please, don't dim it to match the world. Shine fully, walk boldly, let your spirit stretch open, because love is coming, and it doesn't care about timelines. It cares about truth. This younger soul has admired you, not as a fantasy, but as a future, a living, breathing, spirit-filled future. They've already seen glimpses of your life together, not in dreams, but in quiet thoughts they couldn't shake. Moments they imagined cooking with you, laughing on the floor with you, praying beside you, holding your hand in silence and feeling whole. That's what's been stirring inside them. And now it's stirring in you, because the angels are activating your knowing. You may not see the full picture yet, but trust me, you're about to feel things you thought were long gone. Hope, joy, anticipation, that sacred flutter, all of it will return because love is returning. It never truly left. It was just growing, underground, and now it's about to bloom. You're not just being prepared for love. You're being prepared for a love that mirrors heaven, not the kind that flatters you, but the kind that sees you, that listens when you're quiet, that respects your past but doesn't live in it, that gently holds the version of you that had to survive, and slowly, kindly, invites the version of you that was born to thrive. Your soulmate has watched from afar and still loves you, not in spite of your scars, but because of how you wear them, not with shame, but with sacred humility. They see you like God sees you. Psalm 139:14 says, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And that is exactly how they see you, wonderful. Not because of perfection, but because of presence. They don't want to fix you. They want to walk with you. They want to build something that feels like truth, not trends. Not chaos, not pretending. They've admired the way you speak from your soul, the way you hold space for others when you barely have enough for yourself. They've listened when you thought no one heard you, watched when you thought no one was looking. And still, they chose you. You haven't met by accident. Their presence in your life is not random. Even if it seems like they came out of nowhere, heaven knows exactly what it's doing. God doesn't send people to stir confusion. He sends them to reflect confirmation. That what you've prayed for in secret, it's finally arriving in the flesh. The patience you've practiced, the growth you've fought for, the boundaries you've built. It wasn't wasted. It was necessary, because without it, you may not have been able to recognize this love for what it truly is. Gentle, wise, and yes, younger, but not lesser. Because while you've lived longer, they've studied deeper. They've asked the hard questions. They've walked through spiritual fires, and they've come out glowing with a light that looks familiar to your soul. That's why you're drawn to them, not because of looks, not because of charm, but because their spirit smells like home. You can't explain it, but you feel it in the pauses, in the shared glances, in the calm you feel when they're near. It's not lust. It's not fantasy. It's memory. Your souls have known each other before. They carry pieces of you, and you carry pieces of them. And now the pieces are being gathered again by divine hands. This is not a story of rescuing. This is a story of recognizing. Two souls, two timelines, one sacred thread, woven before either of you took your first breath. And now it's being pulled tighter, closer, more visible, because the time is near. The waiting hasn't been for punishment. It's been for alignment. And now you're almost aligned. They're not coming to complete you, but to walk beside the masterpiece God already made. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not forgotten, and neither are they. They've been wondering if you'd ever see them, if you'd ever feel what they've quietly felt for so long. And now the answer is starting to rise in your chest. Yes, you. Feel it. You've always felt something, even if you didn't know what to name it. That stirring, that warmth, that soft ache you couldn't explain. It was them. It was always them. And now you're starting to remember. The way your body relaxes when they speak. The way your intuition leans in when they're near. The way your dreams carry their shadow even when they're absent. Your soul knows. Your angels know. Heaven has watched this unfold with tenderness, because what's coming isn't ordinary, it's divine. So don't run from it. Don't shrink to fit old fears. Don't dismiss the timing. God is never early, and He is never late. He is always exact. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, He has made everything beautiful in its time. And this is that time. That beautiful moment when what you carried in prayer meets what they carried in silence, and it becomes one. So if this resonates with you, subscribe now. Let your angels know you're ready. Like this. Our video if your heart feels seen. Comment below with a powerful word you're declaring over this next season. And if your spirit has been stirred, consider donating a super thanks. It helps spread this sacred message to others who need it too, because this isn't just a video. It's a confirmation. You're not alone. You're not too late. You are exactly where you're meant to be, and your soulmate. They're preparing to step forward soon. Not because they have to, but because their heart won't let them stay silent much longer. They've waited long enough. And so have you. Let the veil lift. Let the recognition begin. There is more to be revealed. They don't see you as someone above them. They see you as someone sacred, not unreachable, not idealized, not placed on a pedestal out of insecurity, but cherished, treasured, understood, not a fantasy, a promise, a truth wrapped in skin and spirit, not something distant they'll never touch, but something holy they've been entrusted to protect. They don't admire you because of your age. They admire you because of your grace, your ability to stand when life tried to break you, your resilience, your poise, your peace. They admire the way you navigate storms without losing your tenderness. They admire your fire, the way you burn with quiet strength, with sacred conviction, with purpose. Not the kind of fire that scorches or blinds, but the kind that warms those near you without asking for anything in return. And they admire your softness, the softness that's not weakness, but wisdom. The softness that says, I could fight, I've been hurt, but I choose love anyway. You've lived, you've learned, you've endured what would have broken others, and instead of bitterness, you kept choosing love even when it hurt. even when it felt foolish. Even when no one chose you back. That made you rare, and rare things don't go unnoticed in the spirit realm. Your soulmate noticed. They noticed the way you still encourage others when you're exhausted. They noticed how you hold your integrity, even when no one is watching. They noticed the quiet dignity with which you carry pain, and in their eyes, that made you unforgettable. Unforgettable not because you asked for attention, but because you walked in truth when it wasn't popular. They've imagined what it would be like to love you, not for the surface, not for what the world sees, but for the soul. They've imagined mornings filled with laughter, not because life is easy, but because love is safe. They've imagined sitting beside you in silence that feels full, not empty. They've imagined praying with you, crying with you, holding your hand in the dark places no one else dares to go. They've pictured a life that isn't perfect, but one that's honest and sacred and grounded in something heaven smiles over. This isn't just attraction. This is a calling. They feel called to your spirit, drawn to your light, like a lighthouse in a storm, like a melody they've heard before in dreams, in visions, in the quiet between heartbeats. And they've kept it quiet for so long, because they didn't want to dishonor your peace. They didn't want to come with noise or pressure or confusion. They wanted to come with clarity, with respect, with purity. They've been waiting, not passively, but prayerfully, with intention, with hope, with reverence, asking God, if this is your will, give me the courage to step forward. And heaven has heard them, and now heaven is moving, because you've asked too, maybe not out loud, but in tears, in loneliness, in longing. You said, God, if there's someone out there for me, let them see me. Let them see past what others overlook. Let them see who I am beneath the layers. Let them see my heart and not run. And God replies, they already do. They've seen you for years, not just your face, not just your kindness, but your essence, your energy, your light. And they didn't walk away. They stayed close enough to love you, even from a distance. And now, that distance is about to close, not by accident, but by divine design. This younger soul may not have all the answers, but they've studied your heart like scripture. They've remembered every kindness, every moment you smiled their way, every encouraging word you gave without knowing you were changing their life. They replay your words in their head when they feel lost, because to them, you are safety. You are sanctuary. You are proof that goodness still exists, and they want to be the same for you. This isn't about age anymore. It's about alignment. It's about resonance. It's about spiritual readiness. Their soul was born with a mission, to love yours, to remind you of things you've forgotten about yourself, to reawaken dreams you buried under disappointment, to walk beside you into a future that makes everything make sense. It's coming, and when it arrives, it won't feel like a shock. It'll feel like a key turning in a lock, a gentle unlocking, a divine unveiling. You won't need to force anything. You'll just know. You'll know because peace will come first, because fear will fade, because love will not rush you. It will invite you. They're not coming to complete you. They're coming to honor what's already complete. They're not showing up to fill a void. They're showing up to pour into an overflow. They're not intimidated by your past. They're inspired by your healing. They're not threatened by your wisdom. They're transformed by it. They don't want to replace your journey. They want to join it, to walk in step, to build something eternal, something rooted in spirit, not ego, in depth, not drama, in peace, not performance. Isaiah 60:22 says, "When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen." And this is that time. The stirring in your soul isn't random, it's recognition. The quickening in your heart isn't confusion, it's confirmation. The signs you've been seeing, the dreams, the synchronicities, that's heaven preparing your spirit to receive what it's always deserved. Real love, sacred partnership, not based on appearance, but alignment, not built on fear, but faith. So don't shrink now, don't doubt yourself out of destiny. Don't assume this is too good to be true. It's not too good, it's God, and what He joins together, no fear, no age, no distance, no opinion can separate. So if you're ready, say it now, type it below. I receive this sacred alignment. Let heaven record your faith. Let your angels rise up and move. They've written letters to you in their mind, not on paper, but in thoughts so deep, they echo across time. They've practiced how to stand in front of you, not with grand gestures, but with truth, with open hands, with steady breath. And every time they imagined it, their heart whispered the same thing. I hope they can see me the way I've seen them. Because they have. They've seen you in your fullness, your flaws, your power, your hesitation, your humanity, and they love all of it, not parts of you, all of you. They've made peace with your past, even if you haven't. They've accepted your layers, even when others wanted only your surface. They aren't just ready to love the easy parts of you. They're ready to stand beside the sacred mess too, because that's where your beauty lives. In the undone places, in the moments you question your worth, in the silence where you try to be strong but just need to be held, and they want to be that. For you, they've waited long enough, and heaven has waited too. Because the angels weren't preparing just a connection. They were preparing a covenant, and covenants take time. Because anything eternal must be built on truth, not fantasy, not urgency, but holy alignment. And now, that alignment is almost here. You've been feeling the shift, you've been sensing the signs, and no, you're not imagining it. That text that almost came, that dream you can't explain, that moment you felt watched. Not in fear, but in deep, silent reverence. It was real. It was them. And it was heaven. The veil between what you hope for and what's coming is thinning, because your soulmate can't hold it in much longer. Their heart has been faithful in silence, but now it's time to speak, time to reveal, time to let you know you've been the one. Not by accident, but by divine blueprint. Jeremiah 1:5 says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you and your soulmate." They've carried that knowing in their soul, even before they had words for it, even before they had the maturity to express it. Even when they felt unworthy of your light, they still loved you, and that love, it matured, it deepened, it evolved from admiration into intention. And now that intention is turning into action. They're not coming to chase, they're coming to cherish, to build, to grow, to be. Not someone you have to carry, but someone who walks beside you. Not someone who drains you, but someone who fills you with peace. Not someone who makes you doubt, but someone who reminds you of God's promises when you forget, because you've spent enough time pouring into the wrong ones. Now it's time to be poured into, not as a reward, but as a reflection of who you've become, of what you've endured, of how deeply you've stayed kind in a world that wasn't always kind to you. They see that, and it melts them. They don't care about the years that separate you. They care about the light that connects you. They don't compare themselves to your past. They feel honored to be in your future. And the angels want you to know this is real. It's been real all along. The admiration, the watching, the unspoken prayers, the trembling hope, the soul longing. It's all been part of the unfolding. You are not alone. You were never forgotten. You were never too much. You were never too late. You are the exact rhythm their heart was created to recognize. And when they finally tell you, it won't be with perfect words. It'll be with trembling truth. It'll be with sacred reverence. It'll be with the kind of vulnerability that says, I don't know what happens next, but I know it has to be you. And in that moment, you'll know, not in your head, but in your soul. This was always meant to be. So breathe, open your hands, open your heart, and open your timeline. Because heaven is not on your clock. It's on God's, and His timing flawless, silent, precise, holy. You are loved. You are seen. You are chosen. Not just by them, but by the one who made them. And when you feel them near, you'll feel heaven's smile. Because love is coming. And this time it won't ask you to shrink. It will ask you to rise. It won't pull you backward. It will lift you forward. This time, love will feel like truth, like peace, like home. So if this message has reached your spirit, if it's confirmed something you didn't know you needed to hear, your angels have more to tell you. Like this video, if your heart feels awakened, comment a powerful word that will echo through heaven's gates. And if this touched you deeply, send a super thanks. It helps more souls find their message. This isn't the end. It's the beginning of a sacred chapter, of a holy love, of the miracle you almost stopped believing in. Don't stop now, because they're almost here. And when they arrive, you'll remember every word and finally say, yes, I knew this was real. I knew it in my soul. You always have. And the angels, they've always known too. Your forever just started. Watch closely. It's unfolding now. One sacred breath at a time.